Lost in your eyes, making plans, big plans. Don't make me regret being your biggest fan. 10 toes, baby, that's how I stand for you, for you. Lost in your eyes, making plans, big.
Family, thanks for joining another episode. Actually, the first episode of our new season of Tapping into Talent. Woohoo! So, kicking off this new season, we have the amazing singer, songwriter, artist, performer, photographer. He is a man of many, many hats, and I'm happy that we finally got him on the show. So, again, kicking us off with the new season of Tapping into Talent, brought to you by Black Gay Table Talk, we have Kaemani. Kaemani, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I am good. I'm excited. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm so happy to have you here.
Me too. I'm very excited. Excited to be here. Thank you for thinking of me, for real.
Of course, of course. We That's something we pride ourselves on doing. We support our independent artists, especially those that are kind of stepping out and trailblazing and not afraid to be their authentic selves, you know?
Thank you.
So if nothing else, thank you for not being afraid to step out and be who you are, loud enough for us to see you and hear you and, inspiring us. So thank you.
Thank you. Of course.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, for those viewers or listeners that aren't familiar with you yet, what's your background, Kimani?
Where do I start? No. But I was born in the south suburbs of Chicago. We're really born at Christ Hospital, Chicago, if you want to go all the way back to the humble beginnings. But yes, I grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago with a single mother, with an amazing grandmother, but, a good family. I've been singing probably since I've been walking and talking. I walked and talked and then sang at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I grew up in the south suburbs and for the most part, a regular schmegular life, without trauma dumping on you guys. It's been good. Yeah.
I love it. Um, and it's funny you say not to trauma dump, right? But through some traumas, there are amazing, beautiful gifts that are birthed, you know? So I will say, you know what? Whatever road you had to go down to get to where you are, I would hope and think that it only made you stronger, and it positioned you to be able to deliver this to the world that you have.
Yeah. If nothing else,
So,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. So, your first single was released back a few years ago. Your first single was 6 Feet, right?
Yes, 6 feet. Yes.
Okay.
hmm
So tell us about 6 Feet and what was your inspiration behind that?
Well, 6 feet actually came after, some really hard times. I think the record came out in I want to say 2023, I believe.
2020.
Yeah, but I think I wrote it about a year ahead. A lot of the songs, I don't know if it's like this with every other artist, but a lot of the songs, at least here from me, were likely written a year in advance. And because it takes a lot of time to, once you write it, recording it is one thing, but then you have to get the mix right, and then there's a lot of different things that can affect that. But I know 6 feet specifically, it came after a long time where I wasn't really working on music.
Mm-hmm.
Because my stage name actually wasn't always Kaemani, it was my government name at first. And so my very, very, very first record that I cut came out in 2019. It was called Tell Me Now. If you watched this and you know me for a while, you know. But my very, very first record is called Tell Me Now, and that was in 2019. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
the Ep1 studios in Country Club Hills. It's the same studio Juice World used to record in, way back when. Rest in peace, God rest his soul. But yeah, I recorded in that studio my first record, and I remember I think I was 18 or 17 when I decided because I've been singing forever. I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
time to cut my first record. I wrote it. I had my heart broken in high school. It's called Tell Me Now, tell me you love me, tell me you want me, high school feelings, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Envion Studios and I talked to the owner. I thought I was really doing something really big. I said, look, my name is Kaemani. I'm here to record a record. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought we was going to make, the #1 record of the century that day. Yeah, Tell Me Now came, it was around 2019. But then, 2020 came the next year. And I'm sure that was a hard year for everybody, but it was a hard year for me with COVID, and that was the year I graduated high school. And then a lot of other events happened that year. And so I took a lot of time off just from life, from everything. I think I deleted all my socials around the time. And then
Mm-hmm.
6 feet came around. Oddly enough, I started working at this Greek deli. And it's weird, every job I've ever worked at, there's been some stepping stone musically involved, in every day job I've ever worked at. It's crazy. And so there's this guy, Victor. He worked at the deli with me. It's called Busio's in Madison. It's probably still up. Shout out to Busio's. And he was a producer. And at the time, I wasn't really in contact with the producer that I initially started working with when I first put out records. And
Mm-hmm.
so once I found out Vic was a producer, he sent me this beat, the beat that would become 6 feet. But at first I did not like the guitar chords. I thought it was a hot beat, but I was like, this guitar ain't hot. We need something
Mm-hmm.
else. And so I reached out to Dante Salino, who's all the way in Argentina. Shout out to Dante Salino, who I met through Fiverr of all places, but we actually become good friends now. He's so, so, so uber talented. Shout out to Dante Salino. And so he fixed up the beat for 6 feet and sent it to me. And I wrote it just kind of from that time, from 2020 up until then, when you listen to the lyrics, bury me 6 feet under and I'll climb right up because,
Mm-hmm.
you go through all those things. And that was kind of the start of me kind of to find myself or like the new version, of who I would be after, a hard period in life. And so that's where 6 feet derived from. And I do consider it like my mission statement single, so it makes sense that it's the first for Kaemani, very much so. Yeah.
Got it. All right. So, let me ask you, what was that first experience? Well, your first recorded record, right?
Mhm.
What was the experience hearing it in playback for
My
you?
very, very first one, Tell Me Now.
Yes.
I'm getting old now, so that was almost 10 years ago. No. um, but I do remember it was very high energy, you know what I'm saying? Because I think, and not to, to still remain humble, but I do think I've always been talented. And so it was only inevitable for me to end up in the studio at some point in time. But I think around that time, even though I had been writing for years, I really had something to say, at that point. Because it's like I always say for a writer, like a singer too, but especially for a writer, there is no greater inspiration than getting your heart broken. The best albums,
Mm,
songs come out of that. So in high school,
come out of heartbreak.
you know.
Yeah,
So I got my heart broken in high school, and the pen was like butter. It was like just right, 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 right. And I was like, I have to go to the studio. Like this is crazy. And so I remember it was a release, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Those emotions and those feelings and those experiences. It was just a release, and it felt good. It was electrifying, and
I
I
love
never
it.
get tired of. I love it.
All right. All right. So, okay. Now, a bit of a game, right?
Oh, all right now.
So, in one of your singles, you had the lyric, you bring new meaning to every love song.
Boom.
What you got it? Well, of course.
You write the lyrics. I was about to test it. Yep, I write. If you
You're
heard
right.
Kaemani on it, Kaemani wrote it.
That's proof.
There we go.
So, I love that song. You give like
Right.
R&B, you give that music that a lot of us feel like we may not get again soon, or that, it's not as music isn't as good as it was back then type of vibes. You get what I'm saying? You're kind of giving that, and I love that. I love R&B.
Yes.
So, yes. So, Say You'll Stay.
Mm.
I have to ask, were you in love when you wrote that one,
What?
or falling in love?
You wanna know what's crazy? The crazy thing about that story, and I've told this story, so people and Yinka's looking at me, you know, but that song, I wrote it. So when I was 19, I moved in, with my boyfriend at the time, right?
Okay.
At 19. If you're watching this and you're around that age, don't do it. But that lasted for about, I think I was 21 or 22, and then when that lease ended, and so in 2023, I moved into my own place, and that was around August 1st. I signed the lease. I wrote "Say You'll Stay" at the end of August of 2023 or beginning of September, and so I had just come off the back end of a really tumultuous relationship and had nothing
Mm.
new on the horizon, and so really there was no love in my life at all. But when I heard the beat, the instrumental that when it first comes in, that it just sounded like yearning. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard it, I think that feeling just was sent to me by the spirit. The spirit of yearning. And so, and that's
Come
what
on
"Stay You'll
now.
Stay" is. It's like saying yearning for you to stay. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was
Yeah,
really just the beat when it came in because I had no love in my life at that point, like not an ounce. Zip, you know? So yeah,
got
that's where
it.
it came from. Oddly enough, there was no love, real love, besides the love in me derived from that song, you know? Yeah, but still a beautiful
Got
song.
it.
If you listen to it and you're in love, that's for you. That's why I did it.
It's for you. I listen. I jammed that. I know back to back. I can't even tell you for how long. But um, so I have on occasion on tapping into talent asked for a little sample. Can you give us a little sample of "Say You'll Stay"?
Oh, well, sure.
Did I put you on the spot?
Thank you. It is all right. It is all right. Let me see. Let me see what I got for you guys. I just came from the studio, so bear with me. Let me see. When I wake up, will I still see your face? Oh. And will
You
I
better go.
forever last more than a day? Stay till tomorrow after tonight. Let a moment last for life. Say you'll stay. Something like that, you know? I tried.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Let me ask you, if you had the opportunity to work with another artist, and you know what? I'm gonna make this kind of specific too. Another artist in our community. Who comes to mind? Who would that be? And they can be an independent artist or somebody who
Oh, and they can
signed,
be
you know.
independent too. Well,
Yeah.
Manesi.
Nasty.
Manesi, yeah, we've been
Yes.
talking about working for a while. He asked me to write for him. Um, we asked me what we talked about, the possibility, but we've been talking about a few things. I would say Manesi is a top one. He's so talented, and honestly, I'm honored to even know him and be in his orbit because when I told him I see him as a friend and then I see him as an artist. It's two separate entities. As a friend, we're cool, I love you so much, but as an artist I really do revere him because he's so talented, and so I feel really
Yes.
blessed to be able to watch kind of the behind the scenes of his whole judge and his moments. And so in our community, independent, definitely Manasseh is the top one, for certain. I'd say if we're talking about like who's out right now mainstream, Destin Conrad comes to mind. I enjoy Destin Conrad's music.
Yes.
He's very R&B in a way that's kind of vibey and new and urban. I'm not urban. Sorry. Um, Modern is the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
Modern. So yeah, Destin Conrad.
I got you. I love it. I love it. So, do you feel that getting support from or how has your experience been getting support from our community? And I know a lot of times we feel like that measure of success is going mainstream or having that mainstream pat on the back. I talked about this some episodes ago, but just looking at the landscape overall, how has it been getting support for you as an artist?
I think I've been getting great support, from the community and, just anyone that supports me in general, I'm grateful for it. But yeah, it feels good. Any ounce of support and, always grateful to have it. So yeah, I would say good.
That's cool. That is cool. I think we started having this moment a few years ago, but we're having a moment where we're getting new platforms, we're getting new opportunities, and a lot of times we've moved into a space where we're building these opportunities for ourselves and for our community. So I love it. I love it. And I think actually that's how we were first introduced.
Mm,
There was an event
yeah.
that I hadn't been to. I hadn't been to anything like that for our community, but it was, tailored to us, for us, by us, the whole nine. So I'm thankful because we're getting new spotlights that we haven't had before. And if not for that event, I wouldn't have been able to
Yeah.
have met you. So I'm thankful. Like,
Too definitely. Yeah.
yes. So what is something that you'd want people to know about you?
I'm just getting started.
Come on now.
So simply put, but yeah, I'm just getting started, finding my wings again, and learning to fly. I have a lot to prove, I feel, and so and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So I feel like if that's the one thing to know about me, it's those things, and I'm really dedicated and really passionate to what I do, and so and you'll just see that through what I share with you. So keep in tune. But yeah, you just getting started. Yeah.
All right. Too Long. That's another single
Ah, a favorite.
that I
Funny.
liked.
Y'all are nasty.
So, what's behind it? Tell us. Give us the scoop.
On that record, who inspired that? Let me think. Well. The scoop on that record, too long. It
It's
had
been too long since I've seen your place.
okay, too long since you had a taste.
Yes.
But yes, too long. Derived from a dry spell,
Okay.
as we all,
Okay.
a dry and you always have that one person in your phone, you know, palate cleanser, if you will, that you can call every now and then, and it's been a minute, since you had that.
Right. That.
So sometimes you got to pick up, 11 o'clock, you up? I am. And then,
So let's make it do what it do.
yeah,
It's been too long.
soon as I walk in. Yeah.
On site. On site.
Yeah. And so too long derived from that. And what's crazy, I wasn't even going to put that song out. That
Really?
and it's crazy, and Yinka's making the face. The people around me think I'm horrible at picking songs, but I cut it. I thought it was a hot record, but it was, you know, I didn't put much effort into it, so it was almost like a joke of a not a joke. It's a good record, but I didn't take it too serious. But I put Circles out earlier that year, and I didn't want to end the year without putting out another record. And so like I went through my vote. I was like, too long. That's a nice bump to it. Let's go on and put that out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a great record to derive from, a dry spell, and here you go. I'm
There
sure we
you
can
go.
relate to that from one point to another. Yeah.
So let me ask you, you being the artist that you are,
Mhm.
how would you what's your opinion of sex sales in the landscape of artistry, and how do you find that balance? Because I know from the visuals and from what I've seen of you thus far,
Mm.
you've been able to keep that balance where it's not too much here. You know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on sex sales, and how do you keep that balance?
I think you hit it on the mark for me personally, but as far as on my thoughts general, sex does sell. That's just the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's just the name of the game. I think the balance though, is definitely there because it can come, it's all about execution, I think, in artistry, from the visuals to the music to, whatever you put out, especially in this day and age of media and internet, it's really about the execution and how it presents. But sex does sell. And that's just the name of the game. I feel for me personally, I try to keep the balance just to keep it, I don't want to, because it can be different for the type of artist you are. Like, I sing very much R&B, and like, my influences are like, Mariah Carey is my number one, and anybody who asks will tell you that.
Yeah.
Then, of course, like, the Ushers, Beyonce, like, I feel people who present tastefully, you know what I'm saying? Because that's from the age where most mainstream things were tastefully, because if you weren't, you'd be censored real quick, back in the day. So we've
True.
gone to, you know what I'm saying? So we've gone to a place where you can be a lot more, promiscuous. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I think it's really just about the execution and what kind of artist you are. If Sexy Red goes on the stage and, does these things, I mean, that's fine. It's Sexy Red. We love Sexy Red. But that's what I'm saying. If we saw, let me think, Cleo Soul go on the stage and try to be like, girl, you okay?
What are you doing?
What's going
Right.
on? Is everything all right at home? And so I think it just depends on the artist you are, and knowing, not even your audience, but knowing yourself. Who are you and what are you presenting? And so I think once you're clear on that, and you have good people around you too, because I'll ask. I have people I think I can trust. And I'm like, is this hot or is this crazy? Like, is this too much? You know what I'm saying? And so, not only do I have a good head on my shoulders, I try to keep people around me with good heads on their shoulders to keep the balance. And I'm
Yeah.
just knowing who I am too. I know what I'm not gonna put on camera and put out in the world, and what I would or would not do on stage. But that's me. If someone else wants to do something a little bit more, whatever the case, that's them.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. But I can see you doing like a really sexy
Oh yeah,
something,
don't get me wrong now.
dark lights and skin and
Yeah.
like sweat and like all the good. Yes,
Don't get
I
me
can see
wrong.
that.
Don't get me. Let me say, I'm not against the sex. Sex does sell, okay? And I'm about making a coin too. So if it's that's selling, then I'm gonna sell it. But it will be done tastefully. But you're not wrong. I'm
Tastefully.
with you.
I love it. Diamond rings and 50 acres.
Ah,
Baby, I heard that. I was like, yes! Diamond rings, 50 acres. What else could you want? I got my men, I got my diamonds, I got my acres. Listen, we set. We in the house.
yeah.
We good. How y'all doing?
Okay. My ministry. Okay, my ministry.
Yes.
I like nice things. What can I say?
Yes. So this is just a few words from your new release,
Thank you.
Plans.
Uh,
Kudos and congratulations. We love it.
Thank you.
What was the experience like going into the studio to record
You
Plans?
know what's crazy? In the past year, I haven't really cut any vocals in the actual studio. I have like a makeshift studio at my mom's house. That used to be
Hmm.
my apartment, but I feel like I was singing too loud for the neighbors, because I record sometimes at 2, 3 a.m. And so, I don't want to be like, and, someone's asleep because they got a 9 to 5 in the morning and the next, upstairs or downstairs. And so, crazy enough, Plans, it took me like an hour to cut. It was such like
Really?
yeah, to me it was almost like too long. It wasn't a serious record. I didn't take it too seriously. And anybody will tell you who works close to me, like writing is really my creme de la creme. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I am a talented singer, of course, but writing it just is like I don't know if you've ever seen Avatar The Last Airbender or Tinkerbell or any of those things, but it's like when
Yeah.
I know in Tinkerbell when the fairies are first born, they go around the water and the Tinkers are and they pick whatever floats to them. It's like I was born in a pen floated right in front of me, and I was like, oh, that's mine. Music note, I'll take that too. Or like,
Yeah.
Avatar, they're airbending, that's my writing. That's my thing, my gift.
Yeah.
And so towards the end of the year of last year, I had a creative surge and I wrote, I don't know, 20 plus records and Plans just happened to be one of them towards the last quarter of the year. And I remember I heard
Hmm.
the beat like that. Dun, 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 dun. And at first, the chorus was the outro. So the plans, plans, I got plans for you. That was the chorus initially, but I think I changed it because it just didn't make sense to me at one point. And then I went to Lost in Your Eyes, making plans, big plans. And it happened so quick. I wrote it in like 20 minutes and then cut the record the same day with a few other I spent the whole 72 hours maybe I think just recording at my mom's because she went on vacation, so I was house sitting. And so I had nothing to do but sit in her house and record. And yeah, it came out just really easily. I think it was a fun record. I didn't take it too seriously, Lost in Your Eyes. I'm making plans. But I do think, even though it was kind of like, I didn't take it too seriously, it's still such a good record. And once I finished it, I
It
thought it was
is.
so dope. Yeah.
It is. I love it. I'm happy for you. We're happy for you.
Thank you.
Um, so are you going to release like a full EP or album soon? And will we get some visuals? I think we want some
I
visuals.
think so too. I very much think so too. There's a few people, if you're watching this, you need to text me back. Uh, let me tell you, that is my top goal right now. You know what I'm saying? I actually just came from the studio right before this interview, kind of finalizing some things. I have almost pretty much an EP that's complete, around 6 songs so far, plans included. Plans, we can consider this the lead. Plans is the lead. But
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah, pretty much done with that. As far as visuals, I've been trying very hard. As we talked about a second ago, I'm very big on execution. And so if I don't feel like the right people are in place to do what I see and what I need, it's just kind of one standstill until we get where we need to go. But I am in contact with, a crew for a video for plans. I think we'll hopefully see that in fruition very, very, very soon. But it needs to be done right, of course. So I'm making sure that that is happening. And I can do a lot for myself, but I cannot do every single thing alone. And so getting
Right,
a team
right.
has been the biggest roadblock, but I'm making sure it's a good team and the right team. And so, yeah, I'm working on it.
Yes, all good things will come. Just keep pushing. Yes. So, I was going to ask you, so what's a normal day like? Well, a normal night, right? So you're not writing, you're not recording. Like what's a night that gives you satisfaction and self pleasure?
I have so many jobs. I'm trying to think. Honestly, I'm such a big foodie. I'm not gonna lie to you. My guilty pleasure is a Wingstop, and I need to stop eating it, but it is. And so I'm not gonna lie. Like a 15 piece. I don't want to say my whole order. That's so greedy and nasty. I'm not gonna say that on camera. No.
No, give us your order. We gotta have it. Give us your order.
Okay, my guilty pleasure for a night when Kaemani is not working, the 9 to 5 isn't in play, no mute, like a completely free night, is some Wingstop, 15-piece Louisiana rub, lemon pepper, fries, extra ranch. I do eat blue cheese. I'm not gonna lie to you. So blue cheese,
Yes.
and yes, I'd get the brownie as well. And off of that, with a good show, oh my God, or a good movie, usually a good series, but I love to be in the middle of a good series, with a good
Hmm.
meal or just a really guilty pleasure meal. You know what I'm saying? And just eat that and watch my show, brush my teeth because we don't want cavities, and then lay my ass down. Can I cuss? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You are fine.
And then,
Yes.
and then to lay my that is a good night for me. Some good food, a good show, phone on D&D. A night for me that's good involves no people, good food, and a good show, and I'm great. Yeah.
I love it. So simple. So no night out, we clubbing. I'm sure you have your nights where you do want to get outside though.
Well, I'm kind of being forced outside. Yeah, recently with work forces me outside, and even before that, I'm really not a club person. I think I went really hard in high school, and so I'm really
Hmm.
like like for example at work, I'm like the youngest person on my team at my day job, and so like the other people will give me like hell because my weekends used to consist of going to Aldi, going to Delta Sonic to get a car wash, getting some food, and going home, and I'm
And going
happy with
home.
that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really but I am getting outside more these days. I have to enjoy my 20s while they're still here. And so and occasionally you might see me at a club every now and again. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. What's your sign?
Virgo.
Virgo.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. 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 I'm saying okay as I read through the Virgo lines and you like, okay.
Because sometimes they like to hate a little bit. So I was wondering if that was like, disdain and you're okay. But okay, it's all right.
No, no. From what I know, yeah, you're about your business. You're about your business,
Mhm.
and you have that good side, of course. Like, yeah, the good side, and it's really good when it's good. But you're still a Virgo, so there's hell to pay.
Yeah.
No, but yes, I love Virgos.
Thank you.
What's something that people may not know about you?
Uh, well, as a Virgo, I don't like to have them know a whole lot. you know,
Hence why I'm asking,
right?
what's the tea? What's the tea?
Um, what would people not know about me that they might want to know? I don't think I'm that interesting of a person, to be honest. I mean, maybe there are things, but what is something that people don't know about me? Can I break third wall? Is that thing? Yinka, what is some people don't know about? Can I do that? Are we breaking the rules?
You can break the yeah, you can break the third
Sorry,
wall.
Yinka, what is some people don't know about me?
Give the tea, Yanka.
Come on now. Don't leave the viewers just.
We know everything.
Y'all know everything about
No,
me.
hold on.
Cut the camera.
Right. I want the tea. Is he spoiled? Is he
Oh, you want?
You gotta slick now.
Oh,
Oh wait. You do?
spoiled? Check. Okay.
So hold on. Oh, you know what's great? So there are two things to that. Yinka said that I have a slick mouth. Maybe so. And spoilization is also true. But I feel like I'm not spoiled rotten. Like, and I talk because I'm an only child. And so I really was spoiled. But I feel like I was spoiled to the point where it's like, you know, I do want everything that I want, but at the same time, I'm gonna work to get it. Like I'm
You'll
used to
work
getting what I
together.
want, so I'm gonna make sure I get what I want, regardless of anyone else. I'm spoiled in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Yeah. But I
Got
do
it.
have a slick mouth as well.
Okay. Okay. And we'll leave it at that.
We can leave it. When provoked. I'm working on that. I'm in therapy.
I will admit when I said yeah, yeah, before I was thinking about that slick mouth.
Oh, really?
That's why I didn't take it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna leave it there.
My man. My man. All right.
I love it. So, okay, so you just released plans, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What is next on the horizon? What should we be looking out for
Uh,
next?
Honestly,
Obviously, we want to get that playtime in with
oh
plans,
yeah,
obviously.
of
So
course.
go ahead, download the record. You will love it.
Yes, thank you.
But what's next?
You can expect a lot. Actually, I just came from the studio. We played a lot of records. It's a lot
Hmm.
in the boat. It's so much. We're going through records trying to figure out what could be this track, what could be this track, and there are and plans. To me, honestly, it's such a good song, but on the project, it's not even the heaviest hitter by far. Um,
Really?
yes, so you can expect.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. It's a few tracks. It's it's a good balance. It's a fun track, but there are some tracks I have come that I'm singing my throat completely off. You know what I'm saying? They're like you were saying earlier, very R&B, the stuff that really inspired me. So I'm very, very excited for that. Just really I think I'm making the best music I've ever made in my entire life. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything is kind of firing on all cylinders for me creatively. Writing, vocally, never been stronger. And I have such a good team around me now as far as putting out content. And I'm still building different things. For example, to do a music video for plans. So that's something that's on the horizon, hopefully, and we're working on that very hard. But I say you can expect. If you thought plans was great, then you continue to expect greatness, greater. You know what I'm saying? That's what's on the horizon for real.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. And then too, and I've said this before on the show, I love when I don't have to change lyrics, right? So like girl, no, I want to say boy cuz
Yeah,
I'm singing to a boy all day long, a
yeah,
man.
I get
So
it.
I love the representation that you're providing.
Thank you.
Again, I'm thankful for it. We need it. We need more of it.
Yeah,
And I want you to please continue to do what you do. We will
thank
support you. We will root for you. We will make sure that we are there every step of the way.
thank you.
Um,
For real, thank
yes.
you.
So, is there anything? Oh, well, okay. So, what does love look like for K Money now?
Like romantic love?
Yes. You having fun? You trying to figure it out?
No, it's no fun. It actually really sucks. After this
Oh,
project, you'll, huh? I said it's
I
no
said,
fun.
oh.
Oh yeah, no. So that's so sad.
Because I get that you love love and you love
Yeah,
the relationship. I get that that's something you desire and you want.
I think so. But anybody out here dating these days probably understands. You kind of have to decensor that a little bit. Of course, I'm not opposed to it. I can't wait for my diamond rings and 50 acres. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait. But I might have to. Until it's time.
I
And that's
got you.
okay. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm working really hard. But love, I'm sure will look like probably a lot like plans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you love somebody, you make plans to be in their lives, they'll make plans to be in yours, and you'll progress on that in the various ways that you see fit for each other. But for now, love for me looks like a microphone, a pen, and a paper. You know,
Mhm.
and so
Got it.
that's the love of my life right now and forever. And eventually, when a human comes along, we'll do our little tango. But for now, that's what it is. Yeah.
Got it. So if you could go back, let's say 10 years ago, what would you tell K Money back then?
Okay, how old was I? I was 13. I just told my age. Sorry. But 10 years ago, what was I doing around 13? I would tell myself everything that's happening will make sense eventually. And the lessons you're learning will benefit you and you'll come full circle and realize them. Because there's a lot of things
Hmm.
that I am coming full circle. And, I realize like a lot of that hard life, really is stepping stones or can be used as stepping stones in a way. You're a victim if you choose to be a victim, or so you're a victim as long as you choose to be. You know what I'm saying? And so eventually you have to use, the lessons you've learned and apply them and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? I would tell 13-year-old me to keep it pushing, continue to keep it pushing because you're going to always have to keep it pushing. That never stops. It's always something to keep it pushing for. So, yeah.
True. True. All right. So where can we go to find you and follow what's going on with you?
Hmm.
And of course, find your music.
Well, let me tell you something. You can Google me, baby. Kaemani. I will pop up. Just me. You know the Google. We're in 2020. Everybody knows the Google now. Even if you're 75 years old, you were around. You know what Google is. But
Yes,
to go more in depth, Google, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, SoundCloud, Audio Mac. It's some sites on the Google. I Google myself occasionally that I'm not even sure how I got there, but I'm there.
I love it.
K Table Talk. You can find me here now. So
Yes, Black Gay Table Talk.
Black Gay Table Talk. Black Gay Table Talk. My apologies. You can find me here now. So but a quick Google search will take you to all of those and more. Who knows where you'll go? You'll enjoy yourself. But you can Google me. Yeah.
Yes, I love
Oh,
that.
and I mean that humbly. Sorry.
Right, of course. That's just that little Virgo in you. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I saw that. Uh-huh.
All right, so here's where I'm gonna break, right? So I'm about to wrap it up.
Yes.
But before I do, is there anything you want me to mention or you want to mention that you want me to kind of lead into?
I just want to say, thank you for one. Thank of me, Black Gay Table Talk. Shout out to you guys, the whole team. So kind. I'm
Mhm.
very grateful to even be thought of. Thank you for anyone out there, who took the time to watch this and, listen. Hopefully, it goes stream plans, and I hope you enjoy it and all my other records. And keep in tune. I'm working on a lot of things. I'm excited to share. I'm just really
Yes,
grateful. It's a beautiful time. Well, for the most part, we're living in, and so I'm excited to be a part of, like you said, pushing that needle forward in whatever way I can. So just keep an eye out.
I love that. I love it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, all right, family. So again, step into Kaemani's world. You can find him on Instagram at kaemaniwrld, right?
Yeah,
And that's
Kimani World.
K
WRLD.
right.
KA.
K-A-E.
No, you
Go
go.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Give it to the people.
Kaemani World. WRLD. WR. Me
WRLD.
though.
Yes,
Or
yes.
Google me.
Yes, or Google. So if you've not already, make sure you download and stream Plans. It's an amazing new single. And make sure you show up and support. We know the impacts when we show up for our community. So make sure that you continue to do that. We need you and we need you, K Money. So
Yeah.
we thank you and we wish you well.
I wish you well too. Thank you all so much, and thank you. Thank the whole Black Gay Table Talk team. Thank you.
Lost in your eyes, making plans, big plans. Don't make me regret being your biggest fan. 10 toes, baby.